Hey boo, it's me, Lutando on screen, and I'm back on another episode of Let's Unpack with Miss Lou, where nothing stays folded. Okay? So let me just open my notebook. Okay, so this week has been kind of crazy. I don't want to lie to you. It has been kind of crazy. Everything went and everything like that, and I'm just like, I need to breathe. I need to believe in the purpose, believe in everything that everything happens for a reason. I shouldn't be like, oh no, it's going slow or anything like that. I always say that we are striving to be phenomenal, not perfect, because at the end of the day, good flaws. Okay, so fine. Um, this week I started itching. Okay, itching, and I am super, super, super excited. I used to do workouts here at home, but then I saw like I'm starting to slack off because I'm at the comfort of my house. I'm gonna be time's up. It's over. Like I just need sleep. I need to be in my own area and just. So it's like okay, cool. Didn't find it. So I started gym and I made a new friend. Right. I don't know if it's a friend that's gonna but even if it's just gym based, I don't really mind because at the end of the day, it's like I don't really know you like that. You don't know me like that. Yeah, well, it's like we're trying to get to know each other. You know what I mean? This hand. But I feel like she's a phenomenal person. She helped me with like the machines because when I feel everyone just so boogie like when I got today, yeah, so figured like it's almost like that feeling. But at the end of the day, like but they're not even paying attention to what you're doing at the gym. They're just like, oh, okay, she's here, noted, carrying on. But I felt so many eyes on me. Even this one lady, she was just looking at me and then she smirked. And I was like, oh, I don't think, what's look at me in it, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be like, I feel like you're all looking at me and I don't like that. But anyway, that was that. I made a new friend and she looks nice, but I wouldn't say she's my type but yeah. And speaking of types, I spoke to a person who was like, I wanted to speak to a person, sorry. I wanted to speak to a person who I liked. She was, yeah, she started following me on Instagram, right? She started following me on Instagram, and I was like, oh, I know this hand, but then something told me, do not text her, like, because she's a Jehovah's Witness, right? And I'm not saying all Jehovah's Witnesses are bad, but they're obviously gonna say, "Oh, lead the way." Everyone, Jehovah wants you to, yeah, everyone know what's coming in. So I was like, "Oh, cool. Me and I, we're not gonna. So, but instead of judging her based on that, I decided to send her a message. I would be like, "Hey, how are you? My name is Itando, and I would really like to get to know you. How about we go on a lunch date and we can get to know each other?" I don't know how she took it. Maybe she took it the way I thought she was gonna take it, and if she did, she just liked the message. So there was no reply, there was nothing. She just liked the message, and I was just like, I wanted you to say something, but you just liked the message. What am I gonna do with your like, what am I gonna do with you liking the message? Like, well, that really pissed me off, to be honest. That really pissed me off. But as I'm really finding myself, I am starting to realize that a part of me is attracted to my gender, and I'm okay with that, and I'm not ashamed of it. And I had told my mom about it, and I don't know how she feels about it. But at the end of the day, it's my life, so how she feels about it is not pretty much, any of my business. But I did consider to tell her just in case I pop up with a girlfriend and she's gonna be like, "Oh, how could you do this to me?" Calm down, lady. Calm down. So it's like, okay, cool. I spoke to her. I had a conversation with her. She was like, "Oh yeah," but I feel like sometimes sometimes I feel like your parents will think that you're joking. Like, she's just playing. She'll just be over it. But this is real. This is real. I'm even taking a leap of faith to actually like talk to some hands. Like, this is the first time I ever spoke to, and she, said no. But this is the first time I've ever been, I would say, rejection in my new season. Like, rejection in this new season of my life doesn't feel like rejection. It feels like a new opportunity. It feels like something new, something bigger is about to happen. Before that, I used to take rejection as, oh my God, I'm a failure. Something's wrong with me. I don't know what to do. Da 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 da. Da. But now I take rejection as, it's fine. You know, I can always, do better. Someone better will find me. I'll connect with someone else, stuff like that. But now it's like, he like, so okay, fine. Me and that person, I spoke to her, and she was just like nothing, and it did rub me a certain way. But I was like, preference is preference. At the end of the day, I can't really be mad at that. Preference is preference. And this week, I also went to go see my girl. Right? Remember in previous episodes, I spoke about rekindling old friendships, and I spoke to my ex best friend, and now me and her are like, and she was just telling me, she was like, oh my goodness, I've known you for 13 years. For 13 years. And it's so fucking crazy. We have known each other for 13 years. We were friends for like, I would say, I don't know, probably 5. We've been friends for like 5 years. And it's phenomenal because we met like at school, me and this girl, and we used to vibe, but we were never like really that close because she kept to herself. And I was a person who was very like open. Like I didn't understand her, but I was drifted towards her because I felt like she was a good person. But she was most, like I said, I always say this about her. She was always absent, but I feel like she's just learning herself and stuff like that. And I'm actually part of, a few things that are happening. I mean, the only thing I'm hoping is that she gets to choose herself, because, like I said in previous episodes, she is in a relationship with someone who is. I don't like that nigga. Like, I don't want to lie. Oof, if it was up to me, I would, like, I would separate those two because it ain't it. Like, no, that dynamic, I don't see it happening. But at the end of the day, you can't tell someone how to live their life and who to date and yeah, but then so yeah, that was something that I did this week. I spoke to my friend and I felt a bit sad for her because she's, like I said, she's living my life. Her man is exactly like how my man is, useless. Mm-hmm. Useless. But I can't be mad at it. She's gonna figure it out, because there's nothing I can tell her. There's nothing her mom, her friends, anyone, like even there's no one who can tell her to leave that situation unless she wants to leave the situation. Because it's like this. We allow things to happen to us. I'm not saying that there's never a time where something happens like that is very triggering. Like let's say maybe rape, we can't control that. Murder, like someone gets to hurt us or murder someone that we love or we can't control these certain things. But I'm speaking of things that we can control. It's taking accountability. I mean, we spoke about being desperate. She said to me, this is what she shared from her point of view, and I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm not saying she's right. I don't agree with it. Do you get what I'm saying? She doesn't have to also agree with what I said. So basically, we were talking, and then she says to me, I don't feel like I said, for me, in my relationship, I explained to her what I went through with my relationship, and I was like, you know what? For me, I felt like it was desperation. Because the reason why I feel like it was desperation is because I ended up finding out the root cause of why I kept on following this one person, into the gutter, into shit, into hell. I found out why I kept on doing this, and it had nothing to do with this person, but it had everything to do with me. what was lacking in me that I couldn't live with myself. I couldn't stay in one position with myself. Like, I couldn't stay by myself. It was always a thing where I had to fight to be with someone. It's like, oh, he's dumped me onto the next. He's dumped me onto the next. But like I said, there's three people that made me realize that this is a pattern. This is the same person. You're not jumping towards a future, you're jumping towards the past. And it's the same thing. You're jumping towards the same thing over and over and over and over again. So I told her I felt like it was desperation. I felt desperate, and I ended up seeing that it was desperation. And then she was like, no, I don't feel like it's desperation. I feel like it's something to do with when you pour into someone, when you love someone and you want to give them your all. It's your nature, it's your character. And I'm like, you can't have character to be a very loving person, a giving person, a person who loves to pour onto others. But desperation is desperation. You can be desperate to be loved. And she will figure it out on her own. I'm not going to have to tell her that, because at the end of the day, like I said, no matter how much I say, oh yeah, you did this, if it's not clicking in your head, it's not going to click in your head until you sit down and you actually see what's bothering me and what's not bothering me. Do you get what I'm saying? So we were talking about that. She shared her point, and I was like, oh, I get what you're saying, but I don't agree with it. She might have gotten what I was saying and not agree with it, and that's totally okay. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, with this hand, I texted her. I wanted to get to know her, and it didn't click. Nothing happened. And it was okay. That's not something, that means that was not for me. That's not for me. It doesn't mean I shouldn't continue in my path to find what I want. She might have not been someone to be with me, and that's okay. There's a woman or a male, but right now I'm talking about a woman, because I'm not saying, by the way, let me say this. Me wanting to date women doesn't mean, or like, okay, let me say, me wanting to explore the options of, like, being with a woman and stuff like that has nothing to do with, oh, a man hurt me. Da, da, da. No, it has everything to do with, I want to get to know a person on a deeper level of connection. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I can't find that in a man. Trust me, I've been approached by men and I've given chances, and I don't give chances based off attraction, money, um, what? I don't give like, I can count everything. Like, you can have a education, you can have a good job, you can have you can come from a great family, you can have the best wonderful life, right? I don't care about that. That like everything materialistic, I don't care about that. I need to know your character first, because you can have money and still be a horrible person. Or let me say this: there's a woman, I don't know what her name is now. There's a woman that I once saw her story. She said she was married to the man, the richest man who did everything for her and stuff like that. I don't remember along the lines of what happened, and he ended up burning her. She is now living with that for the rest of her life. She's burned, like her face is burned. I don't know the woman's name, and if I find it, I might, stick, like, put her videos and stuff like that. But she shares so much of, like, how for, like, yeah, any female, young females or older females, she shares how it's very important to choose someone for their character instead of what they have, or like, materialistic things are just there for the, like, let me say something. The things that we found here, we're going to leave them here. But you as a person, the experiences that you will give people, or the experiences that you will have with others, like, I don't think people are able to forget that. People are not able to forget that. So she shares that. And I was just like, when I looked at her experience and how that person, like, to be honest, I don't know what was going through the man's head, and he ended up demolishing her. Like, he destroyed her, you know? But she overcame it. She overcame it as a woman. Like that's why I always advocate for women, because they're so strong creatures and don't have to be strong, to be honest. We're supposed to actually, like, be treated like, you know, I don't know, like, oh, fragile creatures. We're supposed to be treated like that, but circumstances don't allow us to actually be treated like that. And we can't be like, oh yeah, we can't. So fine. I'm not saying I'm switching to the other gender because I have a failed relationship. Da, da, da. Da. No, I'm dating with a purpose. I'm not saying I won't have fun because I'll talk about that in a minute. I am still gonna have fun, but having fun doesn't mean give away your body or your emotional like be attached, um pour into someone, you invest in someone that is clearly showing you they don't want you and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. Having fun just means, you know what, he asked me to come have coffee with him. Let me go have coffee with him if I'm not busy. Because you can't just call my phone. I run a strict program. You don't call my phone not knowing what you're calling my phone for. No, you're gonna call my phone with a purpose. Hey, I wanna, or you're just gonna text me first, and then I'll see if I wanna take your call or not. I'm not talking about friends and family. No, I'm talking about outside people, like especially a partner. I don't want you to get used to me so quickly, like me and you have known each other for a long time. No, no, honey, we haven't known each other that long for you to get that comfortable around me. Okay, you haven't earned that. So yeah, uh, that's what happened, and it's like I'm gonna still have fun. I'm still gonna go out on my own. I'm gonna go out with others. I'm gonna and let me say this. Um, Initiative matters. If you want to take initiative, if you want to put in effort, great. You can do that. But one thing I've learned to do before I actually, when especially talking to men and women, obviously, because I did tell in previous episodes I have mentioned that there was a woman who asked me out. She didn't um pull through. I didn't ask why. I didn't want to know. I just said, you know what, that's okay. You know, I take everything as like it's okay as long as if it hasn't affected my mental. I'm okay with letting certain people go. I don't know why, but I feel like it comes from the fact that I spent so many years holding on, latching on to certain relationships, friendships, family ships, cousinships, ships that have caused me my mental state, that have caused me, so much pain, that have caused me money, that have caused me time. I've been in situations like that that have caused me, like, I don't know, my entire existence, where I felt like I can't ever heal from that. But where am I today? I've healed, I'm fine, I'm moving forward, and I'm giving people the chance to show me who they are. Because at the end of the day, show me who you are, and then you're gonna be okay. You know? That's just it. So that's what happened, and I was just like, okay, cool, I'm fine with that. Da, da, da. Cool. I appreciate both genders, except for this one. I don't appreciate that much. I appreciate this one, not in like a a very like romantic um way, but I just appreciate them as people. They are ignorant women, and there are ignorant women just as there are ignorant men. They are selfish women just as they are selfish men. They are loving women just as they are loving men. So I'm weighing them according to who they are, not what they are. Be it your gender, I don't give a shit about that. You can be a female and be trash. You can be a male and be good. You can be a male and be shit. Female, good. So I'm weighing you according to what you're showing me. If you get so that's just what happened this week, and I just overall it was crazy. This week was totally crazy. I don't want to lie to you. It was totally crazy. Everything was crazy. The weather was shit. Okay, the weather was shit here in Bumalanga. It was really, really fucked up. It's cold. It is so cold. And when I say I've never seen such cold in my whole entire, maybe when I was younger, I didn't really, my mom. But the cold that I'm experiencing now in like my older years, ooh, I cannot. It is too fucking much. It is too much. I can't even get up in the morning, but I force myself to get up in the morning because I have to be places. I have to, do some things and get ready for certain day and stuff like that. But yo, agunzima, it is so hard to get up in the morning. It's cold. But yeah, I'm happy that I'm cold in my own space. I got my vibrator. I got me. I got my blankets. I got like coffee. And, I'm vibing with myself. It's cute. kind of like, nice. But yeah, that's what happened this week. And, I would love to hear about what happened in your week. Share if things that you are going through, what you've overcome and stuff like that. I love, love, love for us to have a conversation about that. But for now, we're going to move on to this week's topic. Okay. To be honest, I chose this week's topic based on something that happened to me this week. So let me say this. That analogy. Do you know that analogy that is like you get into a restaurant, right? And when you get into the restaurant, you sit down and you're like, waiter, can I please have some water? The waiter brings you a Powerade. You're like, waiter, can I please have some water? And the waiter brings you spring water, like sparkling water, sorry. You're like, no, I want water. They bring you coffee. And then you end up taking that coffee. The question is, did you really want water? Or did you just want to drink something? And I'm saying this in, do you, like, I'm saying it in the sense of the topic is, do you really want the things that you say you want so badly? Because if you did, you won't settle for what is being given to you. You won't. You won't settle for what has been given to you. You will get what you want, because I believe that everyone has everyone has the uh, 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 um I believe that everyone can get what they want. They have the ability to get what they want. Everyone has the ability to get what they want. As long as they put their mind into it, they keep going, they believe in themselves, they have faith in themselves. It's all about the inner. It starts from within. If you believe in yourself, if you trust that this is for you and it's gonna be for, like, 2 or 3 times failing means nothing compared to the people that we've heard have failed. Kentucky Fried Chicken, let's start there. I'm gonna talk about KFC because I was eating it yesterday. I'm gonna talk about that. KFC. Do you know how many times that nigga failed before his recipe got out and now we eating KFC? Do you get what I'm saying? So don't ever talk about, oh, I mean, I failed in the village. I can't do this. Yeah, other people. No. Do you badly want it? Do you badly want that house? Do you? How bad do you want that car? How bad do you want to go to the Maldives? How bad do you want to take trips with friends and family? How bad do you want to build a house? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to start a business? How bad do you want it? Do you know what I'm saying? And if you want it real, real, real bad and you put your heart into it, life is not fair. It has never been fair. No one is coming to save us. No one is coming to pick us up, to give us a silver spoon and be like, here you go. If you have if your family is rich and they can provide those things, good. Take those opportunities because your parents worked to give you that. Kudos to you. I'm not gonna look down on you just because, oh, you didn't start from zero. No, you started from 100, and that is okay. That was your part. That is your life. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fight it because I don't know what your previous generation had to go through to get to where they are right now. Okay, how dare I be upset about your blessings? How dare I be upset about your parents' hard work? Just because my parents can't give me that, it doesn't mean I should look down on you to be like, oh no, yeah, you think you're better because your father bought you a Bentley. My father can't buy me a Bentley. But if I want the Bentley, I'm gonna have to work for it so that my my next generation doesn't have to work for it. Beat my niece. Like, I don't want my niece to ever touch like public transportation. I don't want her to ever touch public transportation. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna work towards that. Do you know what I'm saying? I want her to live the life that we people dream about. You know, it's not only gonna be a dream; it's gonna be something that is gonna be happening for real. I want her to be able to call me and be like, "Oh, my money, like I'm asking for money for my money. Oh, I have to go. Do you get what I'm saying? It shouldn't only be a dream; it should be a reality. You get? So I don't believe in having to take what you think you deserve. Like, let me say, someone hands you a piece of paper and you didn't want the piece of paper, you wanted a whole book to write, and they hand you a piece of paper and you take it. Fuck that. So, this goes to say this, right? How bad do you want it? So, like I said, I'm dating with intention, right? I want to know what you bring to me and how you react to certain situations, who you are, da da da. So, I had this encounter, right? This guy, um, he is friends with a person that lives in my complex, right? Fine, cool. I'm cool with that. I didn't know him before anything. I didn't know him. I didn't know his existence. I didn't know anything about him, right? So he once saw me. So he saw me outside and stuff like that. Cool. The next day, I wake up, open my phone, he's followed me. I'm like, fuck, where did he get my Instagram? Where did he get my Instagram to follow me? Cool. Um, he sent, so I post, what's this thing? I post a, um, like, like those things that they put on Instagram. I don't know what they call, but it's written, like it's a quote. I would say a quote. And the quote said, I don't think it's a quote, man. I think it's a tweet. Yeah, it's a tweet. Someone tweeted, um, before you DM me, ask yourself, are you ready to give her all my money? So I posted that tweet and on my Instagram story, and okay, literally he slid in my DMs. Hello, slid in my DMs. After that tweet, is he still slid in my DMs, and he was like, I don't have money, but I can offer you this and this. I want you to listen. I don't have money, but I can offer you this and this. What does the tweet say? Before you slide into my DMs, ask yourself if you're ready to give her all my money. Her, it's generalized, but basically I'm talking about me because it's posted on my story. He said, I can offer you food and I can offer you alcohol. This one is out of the picture. I don't drink anymore. This one, I'm not really hungry. I have food at home, right? Out of the picture as well. And but this one, I'm gonna keep it here because it's not about I'm not hungry, I don't need food, you can't buy me anything. No, no, no. This is your gesture. But what does the post say? Let's put alcohol out because literally I don't drink, right? But what does the post say? Let's weigh what he offered, food, and what the post said. The post is talking about money. A person who wants to spoil me, a person who wants to give, invest. Money, food. Money, food. I want money. He wants to give me food. So what should I do? Take money. I mean, sorry. What should I do? I was right. Should I take money or should I take food? Food. Money. Food. Money. Food. I have to lower what I asked for to get to this point. I'm already up here. Have you ever seen? I've never seen no one say, "Oh no, let me go back and actually get burnt." Like if I burn myself and I'm like, "Ooh, I like this burn. Let me go back and burn." I've never seen that. I've never seen that. I've never seen anyone do that. So why would I do that? Hmm? Why would I do that? Yeah. So at the end of the day, there was nothing wrong with what he had to offer me. There was nothing wrong with what he had to offer me. But for me, that's not what I wanted. So I said no. I'm okay with that. And one thing about guys, they will always try you. There's always gonna be that one person who's gonna try their luck to test you. They're gonna try to see how badly you want it. The same way the analogy goes. They gave you three different things, different times, but you keep on and asking water. Eventually, the waiter was gonna bring water because there's nothing else they can bring. They can bring you alcohol, they can bring you tea, they can bring you cool drinks, power aids, da da da. But at the end of the day, they're gonna have to bring you what you asked for, which is water. And if you're not getting it at that restaurant, get the fuck out. Like stand up, go to the next restaurant, and you will get what you want. And it's exactly what I'm saying about this thing in this point, right? I couldn't get what I wanted from this person. This person wasn't willing to give me what I wanted. So I had to be like, oh, sorry. No, I got the fuck up. And I said, kudos to you. On to the next. You can do that with the next girl, you know? And I'm not saying on to the next with me. No, no, no. I'm cool being by myself. Like no one has, like I haven't bothered anyone. Like as in like as a former pick me, asking men out on a date, investing in men that have not shown me anything, da da da. As a former that, I haven't done any of that for months straight. I haven't done any of that. I haven't touched no nigga, nothing, no kiss, no nothing, no da da da. And it has to do with from within. It has to do with you. What do you want? What do you appreciate? So I need you to, this is food for thought. How badly do you want what you say you want? How badly do you want that career? How bad do you want to be successful? Because success doesn't mean having money at the end of the day. Success to you, every person has different um they like different ways of saying this is my success. For me, starting this channel is my success. I would have never started it while I was still focused on other things in my life. I would have never started it, you know. And I say this every day that I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I sat down, put the camera up, and started speaking. I'm so, so, so grateful, you know. So that's what I'm saying. How badly do you want the career? How badly do you want that job? How badly do you want to start your podcast? How badly do you want to be a model? How badly do you want to have a house? All of that. Car, family trips by yourself, trying different restaurants, trying different countries. How bad do you want it? Don't accept anything less than what you deserve and anything less than you asked for. Don't accept it. Don't. Why fit when you can stand out? That's like 2016 level. But they were telling the truth. Why fit? You know? But anyway, that's all I have to say for this week's topic. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know on a few things that, you think. Just feel free to share because this is a safe space to share, okay? No judgment over here. The Lulu family does not judge. No fucking bull G. Okay? Anyway, moving on to my favorite fucking segment, okay? Oh, I love this segment so much. Basically, it is Does Lulu Approve? So this segment consists of the mystery box. Basically, I put in questions here every single, like, okay, let me not say every single day because sometimes I don't have a question to ask, but obviously I've written the questions, right? And it's true, like it happened, like things that happen like all the time, like maybe like I see something on social media and I'm like, this would be something to talk about in my podcast, right? I put it right in here. So basically, I don't, I know some of the questions that I hear, but it's a mystery box. Basically, I'm going to shake it, pick a topic, a question, and we're going to do it together. I'm going to be just as surprised as you and share my honest opinion on it. It's raw, it's authentic, that's really approved. So for this segment, we're going to shake, shake, shake. Then we're going to open it up. Okay, I think I picked the question. I love this box. I don't know why. So this week's question is, do you want to get married and have kids one day? Do I want to get married? Oh, girl. There's nothing wrong with marriage, by the way. Do I want to get married? Yes, I do want to get married, right? But I've always said this to myself. I feel like I'm going to get married once. And if me and that person don't work out, I'm not getting married again. I do not want to be married again. Marriage, yes, I do want to get married to a very beautiful person, beautiful heart, loves people, loves themselves mostly, is respectable, is respected, you know, um, is respectful, sorry, is respectful, respects themselves, trust themselves, trust to make decisions, good judgment. I want a person who's themselves, their character. Every time they say be yourself, if you're a shitty person, be that. But I'm not gonna marry you. I don't want you. But yes, I do want marriage. Kids, no. I've sworn off that. And it goes for compatibility as well. I want someone to understand that I don't think I'm interested in that. I don't know why, but something doesn't click for me. when I think about having a child, having to ruin my body. And I don't know, I might be selfish, but yeah, it's me, it's my life. I don't think of ruining my body, ruining my mental health, my mental state. And I'm not saying that, um, the people that have done that are crazy or anything like that. No, but that was their choice. That was their part. So I don't believe in having to do things just because society says do it. Marriage, kids, no, I'm not having kids for the sake of society. Are you guys gonna take care of my kids? Because let me say this. I had this conversation with, who was it? Oh, I had a conversation with a cousin of mine, right? My cousin was like, when are you gonna have kids? Like, do you want to have kids? And I said, no, I don't want to have kids. And she was like, why don't you want to have kids? Do you know that kids are a blessing? And I was like, true that kids are a blessing. And she was like, yeah, so why don't you want to have kids? And I was like, are you gonna take care of my child? Like, can I bring my child to you when my child is bothering me? She's like, hell no. And I'm like, see, I don't want to have someone annoy me the whole day and I don't know where to take them. I don't want that. My mind might change in the future, and that's okay. I mean, I'm still young. Anything can happen. Anything is possible. I have a right to do that. It's my life at the end of the day. Do you get what I'm saying? But for now, the honest answer is no. I don't want to have kids. Kids are a lot of work, financial responsibility, I'm responsible for their mental. I'm responsible for financial things that are going around them. I'm responsible of hearing them whine every single day. And you know what the birth control that I have right now is? Apart from the fact that I'm not having sex, but the best birth control that I have at this current moment is my sister's child. Ooh, fuck. My sister's child. Oh, Leah does the most, bro. She does the most. So let me say this. I think it was 2 days ago, right? Cool. She goes to school. She's in grade one, right? So her being in grade one, right? Fine. She wakes up every morning and stuff like that. Her mom was not home, right? Her mom was not home. She had gone somewhere for something. So my younger sister and I had to, like, chime in for her. And we don't mind that because at the end of the day, Leah is just like our own kid, right? Basically, okay, fine. My younger sister wakes up because my younger sister also has to go to school. They wake up together and stuff like that. Cool. So my younger sister's like, oh, bathing her and stuff. Like, I don't know what my younger sister did to her. They're always fighting over something. Oh, I also don't know what to say. Fine, cool. She comes over to the thingy and she starts crying. That time I'm sleeping, I can hear her. She's literally whining, and I'm just like, okay, I wake up and I'm just like, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Are you hungry? Do you want your mom? I can't do it. Sleepless nights, having to get up in the morning to dress a child to take them to school. I can't do it. I'm the laziest person you can ever meet. I'm the laziest person you can ever meet. So having a child would be me fucking up my life for real, for real. It would be me just doing the most. So no can do, honey. Marriage, yes. Kids, maybe we can revisit that later on. But I'm looking for a partner right now who does not think about that. Like, that's how I just, But anyway, this was this week's question. How about you tell me what you think, and we can discuss it. And if you have questions of your own that you'd like to share, don't be afraid to hit up, the channel and share. Email me, send it on both the pages, and let's have a good time discussing your dilemmas or questions. Anyway, we have come to the end of the episode, and I just want to say this. I love sitting here and talking to you guys every week, or I just love sitting here and talking every week because I get to vent. I get to vent, I get to see my growth, I get to see the struggles that I'm facing, I get to say anything that I want, and that's just about it. But yeah, I would love to hear, a few things that, like I say, I would love to hear. I'm always up for a conversation. But as you know, I will see you next fucking week. Okay, in our little comfort corner because I am bestie. Bye.